kpopRC YouTube channel. On this episode of kpopRC, we continue with the Neighbor RC Burnout build. What is Neighbor, you ask? What, have you been living under a rock? It's Cleetus McFarlane's Frankenstein Crown Victoria beast that pours smoke, sets itself on fire regularly.
Hell yeah, brother!
Due to that beast of a GT500 motor with upgraded blower pushing in the neighborhood of 900 magical ponies.
Look at this, guys. A freaking Crown Vic.
Stuffed in that tired police choo-choo's engine bay.
Who did that? You guys see who did that? No idea. Gosh, dang.
In true Cleetus McFarlane fashion, no hood, loud breaking exhaust, and a supercharger whine that sings a delightful tune of pure awesome. The iconic Freedom Factory Patroller slides around to the burnout pad, popping tires like nothing. Doing it for Dale, kicking those tires and lighting those fires. This monster had to be made in the kpopRC studio. So, hold on to your nuts.
Damn, I'm pumped.
If you aren't privy to the build, this is episode 5, so go check out the other episodes before you ask redundant questions in the comments, you turkeys. In this episode, we mount the body, wire the stop, go left, right action, finalize the wheels, and I save you from sanding, and more sand. The first version of the practical sound system. Not to mention, the teeny neighbor does its first rolling burnout. Yee! Yes. All right, so I have to apologize straight up because I've always been an advocate of the opinion that speaker audio systems in RC cars suck. And the reason I think they suck is because they use very small speakers, and those speakers, they just can't. The physics aren't there to produce low frequency sounds. But the car scaling project, a link below, go sub to him. He has set up 2 rather large mid-range speakers. These are not tweeters, these are not cell phone size speakers, these are fat speakers. He's put 2 of them in his RC car, and he has figured out a way to sample sounds that just sound amazing. His sound system sounds really great. He's got one M3 video that is naturally aspirated, obviously, because it's an E30 M3, and then he's got a Audi Quattro 5-cylinder turbo that has probably the best downshift I've ever heard and the best blow-off valve, and the timing is perfect. I don't know if he has created something that measures sort of the amp draw on the motor so he can kind of figure out how hard the motor is running and how hard it is working in order to know when something is downshifting, when it's slowing down, that kind of thing. I am probably going to be interviewing him at some point on my live streams on Tuesdays. It's not going to be this week. It might be next week. It might be the week after. I'm not sure. A really cool system, and I have to admit that if I was going to put an audio system on any RC, it would definitely be his. Even though he says he needs to iron out the kinks, iron out the bugs. But as for Neighbor, I am not going this direction. I'm not going this direction at all. At all. version 1, I'm going for very much a bicycle in the spoke idea. And what I mean by that is I took an outrunner motor specifically for quadcopters, hexcopters, and I built a sleeve that goes over it, and a 3D printed sleeve that has notches like a bicycle cog, very much like a ratchet, so that it clicks. And I also put an adjustable place to put a reed. So this motor is spinning against a reed and it's creating kind of a oscillating sound. So the sound is not correct. It's not deep enough. It doesn't sound loby enough. It needs to spin slower. So version 1 is a great place to start, but it is definitely not good enough. And I am really starting to think that I need some kind of larger chamber. Without a chamber that sound can echo and bounce off of, I don't think I'm gonna get that deep bass that all of those Japanese dudes get with their Tropicana and yogurt containers. One guy has a gear-reduced brushless motor so that you can get the cog that is rubbing against that plastic to slow down. And I think that's the way I gotta go. That's the way I gotta go. So version 2 will be some kind of gear reduction, so I can get the final cog that that card runs against, or that chamber hits against, needs to slow down. Where the hell am I gonna fit this thing in the Cleetus build, because it's all full of electronics already because of the Super Scale 2020 active suspension kit? Well, there is quite a bit of overhang on the back of a Crown Victoria. The trunks are meant to fit several dead bodies, several full-size leather suitcases, and 3 or more golf caddies. There's a lot of room back there, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna end up tucking that whole system in the back there and hope that it doesn't catch on fire when I pull those smoke bombs to do my final burnout video. All right. I was gonna do a whole section on painting, but I hate it. I hate sanding. I hate the layers. I hate the polishing of it. I hate it. So I'm gonna just not do it. I'm not gonna do it. But next I'm gonna go into mounting the body to the chassis, and the way that I'm gonna do that is the grill on the inside of the body has a recess spot, and I'm going to create something that slides in there. I'm going to slide the piece that's attached to the chassis into the inside of the grill, and then I'm going to magnetically attach the back. I'm not using body posts, of course, because body posts are not scale-ish. So fudge that. I'm going to use magnets in the back. So what I have to do is I have to create some kind of gantry to hold all this stuff and also support the body rigidly so it doesn't move around at all. I did notice the Super Scale kit in the back is only attached to the chassis by the bottom, and when those servos move, it does have a lot of twists. So this is a good opportunity to tie the servo mount into the chassis or into the shock mounts, upper shock mounts, and then create some kind of rigid structure there where I can add 2 rare earth magnets and have the whole body kind of snap in place. This is, I mean, it's worked with other cars. The neodymium magnet body post is like a thing for drift cars. So I may as well do that. It's a tried and true proven method. So obviously done in SketchUp, printed and screwed in. Boom! Onward to the motor. The motor is a just stock, 10.5 turn brushless motor provided to me by hobbywingdirect.com. Go to them, go to hobbywingdirect.com and use my discount code kpopRC for a nice substantial discount on most of their land-going RC motors and ESCs. There's quite a bit of stuff on there that code works on. Obviously not the super cheap stuff, because I don't think they make any money on the brushed ESCs, for example, but go check them out. Support those who support K-pop. Give them a shout out if you can. Wicked. Tell them I sent you. Anyway, so that ESC, just stock ESC, and 10.5 turn just stock motor is what's powering this beast forward. It is also a censored ESC. It has a censored cable all in this mess of wires, and that is also plugged into the receiver, and that is what's giving my steering servo and receiver power, that ESC. Wiring is a little messy. It's difficult because there are so many wires and the servo wires are so long, and I don't want to repin them and I don't want to cut them and shorten them, because I want to be able to use these servos for other projects for you dudes to see, and I don't want to shorten them and make them a one-use item. It would be nice to be able to repurpose some of this stuff for other future builds. If it doesn't melt or burn down, I will be sending the body to Cleetus. Hopefully he sees it. Hopefully he puts it up on a wall or something. I don't care if he gives me a shout out, whatever. But at some point at the end of this project, I will definitely be sending him the body and the motor, probably on a display chassis. I'm not sending him this chassis with the electronics. I just feel like that's a waste. I would much rather make more content for you dudes using all this stuff. So that's the plan. That's the plan. The wheels! The wheels are Team Tetsujin. Can't remember where I bought these things. I always had a big boner for like deep dish steelies. And these particular rims let you adjust the offset. You can go 3 mil, 6 mil, 9 mil. So the back of this might get some deeper dish than neighbor's got, which is fine by me because it looks badass. So these particular rims are called the TT7615 Super Rim, And I had to buy them in 2 parts. So I bought the outer rim and the inner rim. Oh, the pinion fell off. The second servo is the brake servo. The brake servo is a servo that will be controlled by one of the knobs on the high-tech radio, and what that will do is it will put on the brakes for the front wheels. It will be totally a proportionally braking system. I can adjust slip, and I'll be able to let the brakes off gently, and we'll be able to slowly slide out of burnout, which is, I think, a very key component to Neighbor's drifting style, is to get that car just to slide forward a little bit and letting it go. So that servo is also plugged into the receiver and is also powered by the BEC in the electronic speed control. So that whole system is all powered by the ESC's BEC. Then we have the Super Scale 2020 active suspension kit that will be powered solely by a Castle Creations 20 amp Pro BEC. That is what's going to power also the 4 other servos on each of the corners of the Neighbor's chassis. Yeah, so that's kind of a separate system. It is not really influenced by anything. It is powered from the same battery as the ESC for the motor, but it is not in any way influenced by any other electronics. It is just powered by a BEC. It does what it does, and that's it. I have been sanding the hell out of this body. This body is a crude representation of a Crown Victoria. You can see I have been adding glazing putty, tons of glazing putty, and tons of layers of high fill primer. I am gonna go out and I'm gonna definitely spray this a few more times. But as of right now, this is what it looks like. Later on in the video, you will probably see it one flat color. I don't know if I'm gonna get to painting the details. I did order some Tamiya acrylic paint to paint the lights and paint the grills and the black rear view mirrors and what have you. But that's gonna be here on Monday, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna get to that today or tomorrow, or this episode. But know that it's coming, and that unfortunately I am a slave to the mailman, and until I get the parts that I need, things are slow going. So that is why it is difficult to make videos consistently about this project, because you gotta wait for all these things. But definite progress is being made. By the end of this video, we should see this thing burn out. Like, burn out by meaning that use the front brakes and get the back tires spinning. That's my goal. Wicked. Okay, that's a lot of talking. Let's hope I can cover it with B-roll and get an episode out for you guys. But right now, let's get this thing going.
But first, it's everyone's favorite time to give away a set of sweet-ass Recaro seats for your sweet scale ride. Or put them on your desk, hang them off the rear view mirror, whatever. If you'd like to be considered for a set, leave me a comment below. Sub to the channel and maybe a pair will be yours. This week's awardee is XK90. That's XK90. Might actually be K9. K9? I don't know. But K9, thanks so much for being cool and always commenting on the videos and just keeping me in high spirits. I super appreciate you.
That's it for this episode of kpopRC. Join me for Tall Can Tuesdays, my live stream on Tuesdays, of course, like the name implies, where I drink a few beers and we chat. I think that's what I'm gonna do with the comments. Usually I go through the comments at the end of this video from the last video, but I'm gonna leave that for the live stream because these videos are getting too long. But yeah, thanks a lot for hanging out. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas or if you notice that I'm doing something wrong that you think that I should change, or if you just have some insight that would help a brother out. Yes, that's it for this episode, and keep it breezy. Keep it breezy. Stay humble. Pop it like it's hot. Kick some ass? No, I don't know. Do it for Dale? No, I don't know. I'm working on it. Anyway, peace out. Peace out. Is that a goon squad kind of thing? Ah, fudge. I don't know. Don't know. Keep it scale as shit. Boom.